Hi, I'm John. This is my show, An American Scheme, where I'm proving that Diana Ross is Michael Jackson's actual mother. So I ask for people to challenge my work, and there's two parts about it. Is that if I do make mistakes, what I want is people to show me my mistakes, because I want the best videos, and I want the closest to the truth of what I can get, That's how then I keep moving forward, and that's how I keep uncovering the actual truth. I always want the truth. That's what I want to do. I don't want to tell lies and stuff, right? So I want people that are knowledgeable and see that I've made a mistake, and then I want them to inform me about my mistake, so then I can investigate further and clear it up and shit, right? Because I'm not here trying to tell lies, and I'm trying to get the clearest version of the truth that we can get out there, right? And then the other thing is that I want people to challenge me, so then I can come back and expose how pathetic they are, okay? So then I can show you that how weak these fans are, and how pathetic their challenges are and their attempts to discredit me. I can show you. So it's like both things. I want both things to occur. So this is somebody, I don't know this person and stuff. So this is, they challenged because I call Michael Jackson an orphan. And my belief of saying that he's an orphan is that when he was abandoned by his parents, that means it's like, okay, if you had parents that were alive, but then they gave you to an orphanage, okay, well, and they just abandon you, okay, as a child, you don't have parents anymore, and you're living in an orphanage. Now you're an orphan, an abandoned child who the parents gave him away. That's, to me, it's the same thing as if your parents died in a car crash and you ended up in an orphanage, or if your parents just gave you away and you ended up in an orphanage. Either way, you're in the orphanage. You're an orphan, right? So that's my understanding. But see, people want to argue semantics and shit. So people want to say, no, you're the way you're saying he's an orphan, that he's not an orphan. It's like, well, what does this really have to do with my story? You're arguing semantics. You're arguing the issue of, is the title of placing an orphan on Michael Jackson proper? And it's like, okay, what? I don't care. If you want to say that title's not proper, fine. That doesn't change the fact that he was given away as a child. It has nothing to do with it, right? But these people think, if that title's wrong, then your whole story's wrong. Like weird shit, right? Weird fucking shit, right? So this person says, my best friend in elementary school was a real orphan. This shit cries. Sorry, sometimes it's just fucking hilarious, these comments that these people, and if you see this comment's they write me these long ass comments, and it's like, what happens is when somebody writes you a comment that's long like this, it's purposely intended for you not to be able to make a rebuttal against it, because they throw like 100 things there, and it's like, okay, if you're trying to be on the point with one thing, stay on that point. But then they make this super long comment and shit, right? And it's like, well, how am I gonna respond to a comment when you've made all these accusations, and I'm supposed to respond to each and every one? And this is what happens if you try and make a response to somebody in a comment like this. Then they won't acknowledge any of your response. They'll just say, well, why didn't you deal with this one issue? And it's like, well, Jesus, you put a freaking 100 issues in there. How am I supposed to respond to that? It's like, Jesus Christ. The people are pathetic and shit, right? So it says, my best friend in elementary school was a real orphan. She came from Korea and was adopted by a family with 2 sons because both her parents died. An orphan is someone who lost both parents in death. Diana and Smokey are both alive today, so how is he an orphan? And like I just said, it's like they gave him away, and the fact that he ended up in a home doesn't make a difference to the fact that he was given away. He was abandoned, He's abandoned. He's being raised by a family that's not his, being raised by parents that are not his parents. He's an orphan child. So I made a video about this actual topic right here, right? So this is a video I'd made, and so the voice that you're hearing is, there's a TV show called Curb Your Enthusiasm, and there's a guy named Funkhauser that played the Funkhauser on there. And so Funkhauser's an older guy in the Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's like at least 60 years old, and his last parent died, and he's calling himself an orphan, right? And then the Larry David's like, you're not an orphan, right? So this is the discussion, because this is what I'm talking about. When you're arguing about semantics like that, it's funny. And that's why Larry David and Curb Your Enthusiasm, if people don't know who Larry David and Curb Your Enthusiasm is, Larry David's the actual guy who created the TV show Seinfeld. It's actually Larry David. It wasn't Jerry Seinfeld. It was actually Larry David. He's actually the creator of Seinfeld and the guy that wrote all the stuff. It's actually Larry David. Then later on he went and did a show called Curb Your Enthusiasm. So he's a comedy guy. He brings up these little issues like that. Like I said, this person's trying to argue the fact that Michael was given away as a child, but they're not concerned. They can't argue that, really. So what they're trying to argue is that my definition of him being an orphan, right? So then I used the clip from the TV show Curb Your Enthusiasm, and then I put it to this video of Michael Jackson. So that's what you're going to see in here, right here.
I'm an orphan, okay?
What?
I'm an orphan.
Orphan?
Yeah, I'm an orphan.
You look too old to be an orphan.
No, if you don't have parents, you're an
Well,
orphan.
you could be 70 and be
You
an
can be
orphan.
100 and be an orphan.
Oh, you can't be 100 and be an orphan.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, little orphan funkhouse.
Okay, so I had made a video making a joke about that same exact topic before. Like I said, these are things that I make. I address these issues and shit, right? So now, here's this. It's the same. As soon as you can see, the comment's huge, right? Look how big that comment is. It's like people actually. It's like, Jesus Christ, make a video, please. So this is that same person, the SunnyBunny, right? And so now this SunnyBunny tells me, hold on, your theory is going to be destroyed, right? Not actually dealing with any of my theory. They don't actually deal with my evidence and say that my evidence isn't real. They just say, oh, I have a piece of, I have an argument that I can create from some other piece of something that's been told out there. And anybody in the Michael Jackson fandom and stuff, it's like LaToya Jackson, it's like a lot of people weren't old, but I was old enough to remember when LaToya was coming out saying, Michael's a pedophile, we've got to stop this. Like, she actually came out on the news and called him a pedophile. This was freaking crazy. She actually called him a pedophile. So LaToya is like, and then after that, I think it was after, it was somewhere really close to that. Next thing you know, she's in Playboy with all of her clothes off. She's posing in Playboy. It's like, this bitch will do anything, This woman will do anything and say anything to gain fame for herself, because she never really garnered any real fame in the Jackson in the household. And these people, they want fame. Fame is a freaking very powerful drug and shit, right? People are willing to throw their families under the bus. They're willing to do anything for fame. So she says, hold on, your theory is going to be destroyed. LaToya Jackson has said, so as soon as they say LaToya Jackson, oh, so your argument against me is going to be something, your defense is bringing in LaToya? That shit is pathetic and shit, right? So LaToya has said, forgive Michael. See, LaToya's trying to be, oh, she's so sincere, right? Oh, forgive Michael. He was sexually abused as a child himself. Like, shh. Forgive Michael, and then she throws this crazy accusation, right? Jesus Christ, LaToya Jackson, jeez. And then this woman would try and bring up LaToya to defend their story against my quality story. Oh my God. So, here's what I learned by doing research. Fact, right? Oh, fact. And it says, Michael Jackson told some close, trusting people. Okay, so then that's not a fact. You don't have a fact. You don't have Michael Jackson actually saying that, so it's not a fact. So you can't put the word fact. I mean, it's disgusting the way these people are and what they think is actual evidence. Michael Jackson told some close, trusting people that Diana Ross made him have oral sex on her when he was 12 years old. Shit. When he was over at her house. Diana continued to abuse me up until I was 18 years old, said Michael. He said, at first I hated it. I hated the oral sex Diana Ross forced me to perform on her from 12 years old, and due to the experience, I still can't stomach performing oral sex on my female partner. However, by the time the real sex came with Diana Ross when I was 15, I liked it. And then she says, now you see that the song Dirty Diana is not about groupies. It was about Diana Ross molesting him as a child. Okay, so, then there was actually more that I wanted to play. he only said afterwards it was about groupies because she called him. So this person is saying Diana Ross called Michael Jackson because he made the song Dirty Diana. She called him and cussed him out. Okay, so and I never believed him. Okay, that doesn't matter. Okay, so this person says that Diana Ross cussed Michael Jackson out for making the song Dirty Diana. Right now, if Diana Ross was offended that Michael Jackson had made Dirty Diana in the fashion of what this person is saying that Michael Jackson made a song about Diana Ross because Diana Ross molested him and he called Diana dirty. And this person is saying that Diana Ross then called Michael Jackson and cussed him out for doing that. But this here, let me show you. This is Diana Ross, Diana World Tour 1989. So this would be right after. You're talking very close, short period of time after Dirty Diana came out, because that was on the Bad album, right? So this here would be very shortly after that. And then what you're going to hear is this starts off with the version of Dirty Diana. You're going to hear, and it says Diana, and you can hear the music is taken from the song Dirty Diana. So that means if Diana Ross was offended by the song Dirty Diana, there's no way that she would start off her world tour with a version of Dirty Diana, which is what you're going to hear here. As you could tell, when you hear that in the beginning, it's Dirty Diana. The actual guitar play and the riff, the music of that, is actually Dirty Diana. So there's no way possible Diana Ross can actually be offended by that song, Dirty Diana, because that song actually, it is about groupies because it's about Diana Ross being a groupie to Smokey Robinson. The song is actually about Dirty Diana being dirty against Smokey Robinson. That's what the song's actually about. Because Smokey Robinson was hooked up with Claudette, and Diana Ross then got pregnant by Smokey and kept still going after him, as she was using Smokey to get into Motown. That's what the Dirty Diana, and she was a groupie. She waits at backstage doors for those who have prestige. They promise fortune and fame, a life that's so carefree. That's what the groupie part, that's what Diana Ross was doing, hanging around Smokey Robinson. Then when Smokey Robinson got her into Motown, then Diana Ross goes and hooks up with Berry Gordy. Because who's Diana Ross's first known child is Rhonda Ross Gordy from Berry Gordy. That's what the song Dirty Diana is about. That's what it is about groupies, but it's about Diana Ross being a groupie to Smokey Robinson and Berry Gordy and stuff like that. Not about what this person says it is. And this proves that Diana Ross was not offended by that song, but instead she embraced it because actually it's about the telling of her youth. That's what it's actually about. So then this person, they said that Michael Jackson was being molested by Diana Ross, right? From the age of 12 years old. So if Michael Jackson is being molested by Diana Ross at 12 years old, and Michael Jackson is so caring about children and everything, right? Then this is Michael Jackson's will. So then how come Diana Ross would end up as a guardian over Michael's children in his will? So if Michael was being molested at 12 years old, and then you're going to tell me, and then he blasted her, this person saying that he attacked her in the Dirty Diana song, but then for some reason, as it says here, I nominate Diana Ross as guardian of the persons and estates of each minor children. Okay, so why would he put Diana Ross in that position to be a guardian over his children in his own will? How is that possible that could have occurred if Diana Ross was molesting him? But then you're going to tell me that it goes to his will, and who does he give guardianship? First to Catherine, but if Catherine can't fulfill the obligation, then he nominates Diana Ross to take care of his money, not just the kids, of his money. to take care of the whole estate. So you're going to tell me that he's going to give that person that molested him as a child, and then he grew up and he was offended by it, so he made a song, Dirty Diana, to yell at her about it, but then for some reason he's going to give guardianship over that woman to his children and his estate? That can't be true. That whole story about Michael being molested that LaToya is saying, it can't be true, because this happened. So that's what I'm saying, that these fans, I get attacked by stupid fans and they're coming at me with stupid evidence and it's bullshit stuff. Oh, and I forgot there was one more thing here. This person here, SunnyBunny, I'm going to go to their page and I'm going to show you that they made a video here trying to claim that this is evidence and shit, right? So this is that person, this is their page. They made this video, right? This is a photograph of Diana Ross's whole family, right? Now, if you had a photograph of Diana, first of all, you have to tell me the date of which this was taken and stuff. But when I see Diana Ross, I say Diana Ross got pregnant when she was 13 years old and 8 months. 13 years and 8 months old. Okay, so she's almost 14, and she does not look anywhere near 14. And so if this photo was taken any time before that, plus you're talking a few months until she actually would be showing she's pregnant. So closer to when she's 14. So basically, if this photograph is taken any time before Diana Ross is 14 years old, then it's invalid. It does not relate to the story of what I'm telling. And so I want you to look at this, and when they show Diana Ross, does she look like she's 14 years old? And this person's saying, this is evidence. And this is what these people do. It's like, this is not evidence. This is just stupid people.
Hi, everyone. This nice family picture. This is the Ross family. This is Diana Ross and her family, along with her siblings. She's sitting next to her dear mother, Ernestine. That's her sister, Barbara. She became a doctor. And her father, Fred. That's her other sibling sitting here in the front.
So she's saying Diana Ross is 14 years old there. She looks more like she's like 11.
But clearly not pregnant. Clearly not about to have the future king of pop and give him away to Joseph and Catherine Jackson. There's a young girl who was always thin, very athletic, but not about to be a mother. Diana Ross, not pregnant.
So this is her photo with no date of when it's taken. So she's claiming that Diana Ross is 14 years old in that picture. I don't know. She doesn't look 14 to me. Okay, but that's just, let's be argumentative, right? Because people can be 14 and not look it and stuff, right? So, but that's argumentative. I was like, okay, if you're going to do this, you have to find the actual date of when this photograph was taken. And now like me, if I wanted to research this, I could go to all of the kids and then if I couldn't find the actual date, I could find corresponding things to relate to when the kids, and I would link it up somehow like that so I could prove a general idea of when this photograph was taken. But this person didn't do any of that. This person just said, look, here's a picture of Diana Ross when she's a kid and she's not pregnant. Yeah, well, what do you think? She's like a freaking cow that's like milk for milking and stuff, and she's always pregnant and stuff. And like, what do you think? That she was pregnant her whole freaking teenage years? I didn't say that. I said she's pregnant from that one period. She got pregnant when she was about 13 years and 8 months old, and then she gives birth to Michael when she's about 14 and a half. And then after that, she got her body right back real quick, and that's when she starts in the Primettes when she's 15. Like, that's the real story. She starts in the Primettes in her music career when she's 15, after the event has happened with Michael Jackson. That stuff's all documented, you know. Prove to me that I'm wrong. Go ahead. Give me some fucking evidence. Prove to me wrong. But you're going to throw this at me. First, you're going to hit me with some LaToya shit. Then you're just going to throw a picture of a young Diana Ross and say she's not pregnant, so she can't be pregnant. My story's got to be... See what I'm saying? These people are pathetic. And it's like, a person like this, what I can actually tell you is that when a person like this, what happens with all the people that think that Michael Jackson was molested as a child, what you're going to find is that those people were molested as children. Okay? And what happens is they want Michael Jackson to have been molested as a child because it makes them feel more like they're normal human beings, right? That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what's going on when you get all these people trying to say, that's what you'll find. It's like, if you find somebody saying that Michael Jackson was molested as a child, go ask that person, and what you're going to find out from that person is that they were molested as a child. And that's why they'll believe that stuff. And it's not just because they believe it. They want to believe it because it makes them feel better knowing or believing. It makes them feel better believing that Michael Jackson was molested because it makes them feel like, oh, well, I wasn't this or that that, you know, anybody, that can happen to anybody. Look at what happened to Michael Jackson. So they're trying to fulfill these weird freaking things that are going on in their personal lives. They got actual mental problems, you know, and that's why they can't deal with any real evidence. And my story, see, my thing, that's what's happened is now that I'm coming in with a real story, I'm breaking down their personal beliefs that they thought Michael Jackson was being molested, and that belief that they thought Michael Jackson was being molested was helping satisfying some kind of demented freaking personal issues they've got in their mental issues. They've got some demented mental issues that they're dealing with because they were molested as a child. So when I come and I break that down and say, no, Michael was not molested, his problem of what was going on is that he was orphaned as a child. He was abandoned by his parents. Then what happens is I'm breaking down their belief system. And it's like, well, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to hurt you and shit. I'm not trying to do it, but the truth is the truth. And you're not allowed to use a lie against Michael Jackson to fulfill some weird freaking hole in your fucking personal life that you've got.